Noah's expression is extremely embarrassed. It seems that this matter will not be resolved. Old Mrs. Wilson was furious. She slapped him with her feet, and cursed, "You are not a dog with eyes. If you don't believe in your own mother, believe in an outsider." Now it's all right. 15 million hits. The water is drifting. You are trying to drive us all to death. When Jacob heard that his elder brother Noah turned out to be 15 million, he felt sore. He has been following the Wilson family for so many years, and continue to be more than 1 million. Later, he made some antiques and earned some more. His daughter gave him some more. The family barely had more than 2 million. Unexpectedly, Noah would have 15 million himself. Thinking of this, he said sourly, "No wonder, elder brother. You must have put 15 million in sister-in-law's hands, right?" Noah said with a sullen expression, "It has nothing to do with you." Jacob sighed and said, "Big brother, you gave so much money to sister-in-law. Even if sister-in-law doesn't want to cheat, those young men who dream every day and expect rich old aunts to save them will not let them go." Noah frowned and asked, "What do you mean by this?" Jacob looked at him and said in surprise, "Do you usually use your mobile phone to access the internet?" There are many cases of this kind on the internet. Some young men seduce rich old women like sister-in-law, and when the time comes, they say something to the old auntie, "I don't want to work hard anymore." The rich old aunt immediately gives money to buy a car or the house, take him up, and even elope with him. Speaking of this, Jacob said regretfully, 15 million. I don't know how many young men chase after sister-in-law to please her. I'm afraid that the sister-in-law will not be able to pick it. Noah was trembling with anger. "Auntie, I don't want to work hard on such a stock." He can occasionally see it on various headline consultations on his mobile phone. At that time, he even had a crooked mind, thinking that in the future, if he has money and meets a young and beautiful girl, telling himself that "Uncle, I don't want to work hard," then he can also send her an address directly and let her just come to him. Of course, this was only in the obsession that existed in his mind. He had never had the courage and the strength to make it a reality. But now, when he heard Jacob talk about his wife like this, he didn't know what was going on. That kind of imagery suddenly became very strong. He even thought of a scene of a young man sitting in his wife's arms and calling her aunt flatly. Noah worked for a while, feeling that he didn't know how many green hats were on his head, and he was extremely angry. At this moment, he was anxious and angry. He gritted his teeth and cursed, "Jacob, what qualifications do you have to laugh at my wife? Your wife is not a good thing. Fortunately, you have no money. If you have money, just like Elaine Goodthing, she would have already been out with 10 little white faces." At this moment, Jacob's bedroom door opened, and Elaine ran out angrily, pointing to Noah's nose and cursing, "Noah, your own wife ran away. Why did you come to our house and dare to ridicule the Lady Wilson? You don't see what you are." Seeing Elaine finally came out, Noah asked sharply, "Elaine, have you seen Horiah?" Elaine scolded, "I said I haven't seen her before, but I haven't seen her. Why are you with such nonsense? I tell you, Horiah was out with a little white face, rolled money and ran away. Do you believe it or not?" Noah gritted his teeth and cursed, "You said she has a little white face. What evidence do you have?" Elaine said coldly, "Your wife and money are missing. What evidence do you need? You don't want to find evidence by yourself? What are you looking for in my house?" Noah was about to suffer from a heart attack, and Mrs. Wilson said coldly from the side at this time, "Okay, let's go home. Don't be embarrassed here." Noah pointed at Elaine bitterly, and cursed, "Screw, UFC king, wait for me. Sooner or later I will clean you up." Elaine spit on him and said angrily, "You are so poor that you can't even afford to eat, and you want to clean me up? Sooner or later you will starve to death, you be it starred." After all, Elaine closed the door directly. Noah exploded dryly, but he didn't dare to continue entanglement, for fear that Charlie would beat him up again in a rage, so he could only leave with the Lady Wilson in a dingy manner. At the gate of the community, the old Mrs. Wilson said to Noah with a dark face, "Give you 3 days and find Horiah for me. If you can't find her, bring the money back to me. Otherwise, you don't need this house. I'm back." After speaking, the Lady Wilson ran away angrily. Noah almost collapsed. The world is so big, where can he find Horiah? It seems that the only way to go is to see Horiah's family. After scolding Noah away, Elaine's always extremely depressed mood was a little better. Jacob didn't know what happened today. He thought that Horiah really took the money and ran away. He gloated and said, "Haha, my eldest brother is really clever," and confused for a while. He didn't even think that he would catch fire in the backyard. He really laughed at me, ha 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 ha. Charlie glanced at Elaine, but she didn't expect this mother-in-law to be on the road. She denied seeing Horiah with Noah's life and death. She had to blame Horiah for having an affair and ran away with money, so she immediately took Noah to do it. His attention shifted to other places. Elaine looked at Charlie bitterly, and couldn't wait to eat him raw. Blamed this waste. Leanne and Horiah donated all the money she lost. Now that she has lost all the money in the family, she doesn't know how to hide it from Jacob.